Australia has actually offered to host the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder trilogy. Uh, One catch though, Christmas Day. Like, who would have thought? Who's watching boxing on Christmas Day? I don't really know how this is gonna work though. Australia wanting to host boxing on Christmas Day. I don't know, man. What's my take on this one though? I don't know how the time zones are gonna work in terms of the UK and in terms of the United States. I think United States is actually behind Australia. I think they're behind Australia. So I think if they do it Christmas Day, it might be. Would it be in the evening on the 24th? I don't know. I need to go check how the time zone's gonna work for the UK and Australia on Christmas Day. But even whether it somehow winds up the fans in USA or UK watching on Boxing Day, or if the time zone works on actual Christmas Day, or however the time zone works, um, in that period, is that really when people want to be watching boxing? A lot of people's gonna be distracted by all these other family activities and all this other stuff going on, isn't it? So I don't really know how this is gonna work for in terms of the gate for pay-per-view, and all that, and also how is it gonna work for the gate in terms of ticket sales, like in at the gate, because a lot of people, are they really gonna want in Australia, Brisbane? I think it's Brisbane. They said this fight might actually take place if they do it in Australia. You know, are the fans really gonna the would the ticket sales actually be maximized doing it on Christmas Day? Because I'm sure there will be some section of fans that will actually, probably be staying at home instead of actually coming to the stadium if they decide to do it on Christmas Day. You know, bank holiday shops are closed. You can't buy. The fans, they like to go out, the pre-fight antics. Going out the shops and all that, local restaurants and all this kind of thing. Boxing Day closed. No, Christmas Day closed. I don't know. Well, that's how it is in the UK. I don't know if it's the same in the United States, in Australia, in terms of all the shops being closed, but I'm assuming so. So I don't know how that's gonna work in terms of generating sales, maximizing sales of pay-per-view, and maximizing sales of the game. I don't think Christmas Day is the day if you really want to maximize sales, in terms of pay-per-view and the gate, especially for a trilogy that most fans, don't really want. They want Tyson 3 versus AJ, and you've got a trilogy going on that most fans are not really, you know, grappling for, and then you decide to put it on Christmas Day. It might actually affect your gate internationally in terms of the UK, United States, and Australia. Then again, if somehow they're able to, sell this fight, really push this fight, then you might have a few fans to be like, you know what, I'm still gonna pay pay-per-view, convince the family there's a big fight going on. Let me just catch this fight, you know. And a lot of fans might still decide to buy the pay-per-view if they somehow manage to really sell this fight, sell this trilogy. But at the same time, in terms of the gate, the ticket sales gate in Australia, do fans really want to be coming out? Because even though I think Australia, they've really eased the lockdown and all that in terms of the coronavirus, COVID-19 and all that in Australia, do the fans really want to be coming out to stadiums like that? Maybe I don't know how people's perception of everything will be in December, but believing that a lot of people might still be cautious at the time. I don't know. Will people really still want to be coming out into the grounds and into the stadium, sitting shoulder to shoulder with other people? Is that something people really want to do? A lot of people, if they really watch it, I think they're more likely to buy the pay-per-view. And just overall, I just don't think this is the best day for them to do it. Christmas Day, it's the day, like, no foot. I've never seen a football game on Christmas Day. No sports takes place on Christmas Day. Boxing Day football, that always happens, isn't it? It's always Boxing Day football, but Christmas Day, nah. I think it's just I suspect, because I suspect that this might not be something that Bob Arum might want to go for. At the same time, I don't even know if Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury want to fight on Christmas Day themselves. I'm sure they would want to get this fight over and done with before, so they can just have Christmas with their families rather than boxing in a foreign country on Christmas Day, where pay-per-view is not likely going to be maximized in terms of ticket sales at the gate, ticket sales of pay-per-view internationally. why would you waste sales? You need to get as much sales, especially for a trilogy that most people are not calling for. So I suspect, because China's actually offered, I think Bob Arum's alluded to potentially this fight happening in China in November. So we could actually get this fight earlier than December. This fight could actually take place earlier, in December, and so this fight could actually take place in China. We wait and see what actually happens, what transpires. What is Bob Arum plotting to do? Does he want Australia? Does he want China? Because as most fans and Bob Arum and what everybody's basically been saying, it doesn't sound like we're going to be able to get packed out stadiums in UK or United States right now. The way it's looking, it's not even a lot of the fans might not even be confident to come out in numbers like that. So that might not be, it might not make any sense to go down the United States route in terms of pay-per-view and gate, in terms of the gate right now, because fans might not be coming through. The economics and everything going on in the United Kingdom, going on in the United States, in terms of pay-per-view, could affect, sales and everything like that. So we have to wait and see what actually happens. So we have to wait and see what actually happens in terms of, that. But overall, in terms of boxing, we have to wait and see what actually happens in terms of pay-per-view sales, because all the economics thing going on right now. We have to wait and see what happens in terms of that. But focusing on Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder's trilogy, for me, I don't think this Christmas Day thing's viable in terms of maximizing revenue. China, I would rather this trilogy happen in China, in my opinion, because it's earlier. It's in November. I want to see this fight as early as possible. I'm not looking for some extended thing that they extending it to December and all that, Christmas Day. I don't think Fury and Deontay is going to want to do it on Christmas Day, to be honest. So I think China might be viable. I think China, I can't remember what date they were proposing. I don't know if they proposed a date for China yet. But for me, I just want them to do it in China so I can see this fight as soon as possible. Drop your comments in the comment section below. What do you think about, Tyson Fury's next fight against Deontay Wilder trilogy potentially happening on Christmas Day in Australia? Strange things. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me hear from you guys. Cool.